Hi folks, John with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for checking in today. I'm back out here in the woods. I'm testing some gear and I'm really excited to showcase this piece of gear. Now, if you follow along on the channel a while back, I did a video review on a FirstEdge knife called a 50/50. Now, that was a knife that was designed for the Navy SEALs up at their Kodiak, Alaska, cold weather school. Outstanding blade. I'll leave a link in the video below. They got a hold of me. They said, John, we like how you went crazy town on that last video, and we would love for you to test this next blade. This next blade from them is called the 5150. Now, for folks that don't know, 5150 is a call sign for crazy person. I don't know if I'm crazy, but we like to have fun with blades, and as usual, we're going to have fun with this blade. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut away. We're going to do a quick tabletop specs rundown. We'll get up close and personal, give you the specs on this blade. Then I'll do some practical application. Then I will come back and give you some final thoughts on this blade. I'm really excited about this one, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. It's time to get this video started now. Let's go. Now let's get to work in this 5150. I keep this old piece of oak out here, and I've been using this in knife reviews for a while now, just to test, because this piece of old dried oak is just tough. So I use it to see how well the edge is going to hold its edge, and just to see how well that it's going to chop. Not bad. I mean, whenever you're slicing oak, anybody who has it in their area can tell you that it is tough. Now I'm going to try doing a feather with this on one of these pieces of wood. Let me split this one down a little bit. Then we'll clean it up. It works great on this softwood. Let's see how well we can get a feather going. And it's got a little finger choil in there. I'm going to choke up just a little bit. Oh yeah, some nice onion skin curls. Let's see if it's going to be able to strike a ferro rod, because a lot of folks out there want to see this. It does have a 90-degree spine, so I got to be careful. There is fire restrictions up here, so I got to use caution. But yeah, she will strike a ferro rod. Clean off the table here. Drive it in. We're doing some campcraft stuff. Trying to mill down some wood. Maybe I got to make some tinder on the quick. Oh, it just does a great job. Let's test the tip strength on this blade. I know a lot of folks are always concerned about that, and especially with ELMAX steel, a lot of folks aren't used to it. This ELMAX steel is pretty tough, but I just want to illustrate to folks. And I mean, when you do lateral forcing on a blade like that, the blades aren't designed for that. I'm sacrificing my bushcraft table for this review, but I just want to show folks that this blade's going to hold up. Tip, nothing wrong with that tip. Let's try a little bit of pine cone processing. Has a pronounced pommel. What I like about that is has a nice, I wouldn't say super sharp 90-degree edge on that pommel, but it is enough to where if I'm doing tasks, campcraft tasks, maybe I gotta smooth out the inside of a spoon I'm making. But as you can see, oh, it looks like some squirrels got a hold of that one. It's making pretty quick work of this pine cone. So if you had to process acorns or these pine cones for pine nuts, it's doing a super good job. Let's test this 5150 out on this dead limb. See its chopping capabilities. What's cool is I can really smell the turpentine of fat wood in this. It's pretty cool. Great job. Now, there we go. That cleaned that up pretty good. I'm using it in that back seat grip. It's got enough sweep on the pommel to where my middle finger, and that's what a lanyard holds in there pretty good. So you can see, it's like a pendulum. Not a lot of effort right there, just to get that blade swinging. I think I found the sweet spot on this blade right in here. Just chops really nice. Try it on some more stabbing. We're tearing it up. Not bad. Finish is holding up nice. Edge is also holding up really nice. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of batoning with a blade, but you folks want to see if a blade like this is going to stand up to that sort of work. So, without further ado, let's get on it. Now up here is just usually pine trees and oak, but I don't have a lot of dead oak that I can process. Maybe one day I'll do a one-stick fire with this. But, I mean, if I'm doing some notching here, let's see. Maybe there's something I'm making around camp where I got to put a little V-notch in. Not bad. Can't see it there, but right there. Okay, just like this knife's big brother, I'm going to show you folks this ELMAX in action. That's if my baton holds up. Now, disclaimer, do not try this at home. This is a $1.95 on this blade. And I'm standing about an inch and a half away from the wood. I can feel this blade flex pretty good. There's some flex in this blade. Now you have to understand, take this out. Still straight. These blades are not designed for lateral tests, but I wanted to illustrate that this ELMAX steel and the way that FirstEdge processes it is just outstanding. Now for some final thoughts on the FirstEdge 5150 knife. First, let's talk about the sheath. A lot of thought process went into this sheath. This sheath is not your traditional Kydex. This has a stainless steel spine that goes all the way around. And the thought process behind that is when they made the 50-50 survival knives for the Navy SEALs for their school up in Kodiak, Alaska, the extreme cold conditions cracked and broke the Kydex. So what they found is if they put that stainless steel welt in there, it reinforced it, and it just gave this sheath a whole new lease on life in the cold. Kydex can get very brittle in extreme conditions, and they solved that problem. It works very well. They have a really pronounced drain hole in the bottom, which is outstanding. The webbing on here, what can I say? As my last review of the 50-50, the webbing on here is industrial strength webbing. It'll fit a standard utility belt. The stitching is X-stitched in there. It's just going to hold up really nice. So I can't say enough good things about that. Got a snap as a retention to hold the blade in. That's enough about the sheath. Let's talk about the blade. Well, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm quickly becoming a fanboy of ELMAX Steel. This ELMAX, I can't say enough good things about it. Edge retention, spot on, sharp as heck, right out of the box. Still just razor sharp. This was a piece of wood that I just batoned, but just, I mean, crazy. Just outstanding. I love the design of this blade. Kind of reminds me of the old school blades my dad used to carry, like the old buck knife blades back in the day, just on super hyper steroids now. Got that nice drop point design, sort of like a hunter's point. Awesome. Would be a great skinning knife for that deer, for those wild hogs, heck, even fish. You could get up in there with your grip. It's got a little micro finger choil in there, so you can get in for the fine detailed work. 90-degree spine. The pommel, if you're spooning out stuff, it's going to work really well. G10 scales, just like on the 50-50. And I'm going to break out the 50-50 real quick so you folks can see the difference. Oh, don't want to cut myself. The handles are a little bit different on both models. This one I found to be very comfortable. Let me put the 50-50 off to the side for a second. The sweep in the handles worked really well. And when I dropped back to where my middle finger and index finger grip for some chopping action, I just got some great leverage with this blade. And I know that if I throw a lanyard on there and I wrap it around my wrist, it's just going to work even better. But G10 scales, the texturing on these scales, is spot on. My hands did not slide around. There's just enough contouring to where they don't cut into your hand. But if you have medium-sized hands like I do, to even large hands, you're gonna like this. They kept the scales out of the way of the blade. So if you're batoning, the scales are not gonna hit the blade in your cutting edge. So that's really cool. There's a lot of thought process that went into this. Just enough thumb ramp on the front, and when you choke up, look, just enough on the back side. So you have a very secure grip with this blade. Nice, I believe it's a flat grind on here. And they left just enough meat right down the center of this blade just to make it strong enough to where you saw I pounded it into that log and stood on it. And a disclaimer, do not try that at home, folks. You could get seriously hurt or injured, but I do that so you folks can see how well these blades are going to hold up. Straight as an arrow, just worked great. If I had to rate this, I think you know what I'm going to rate it already, but I rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being a dumper, 5 being a grand slam. Folks, my humble opinion, I think this is a grand slam. And this isn't just because folks send me stuff to test it out. My street cred is on the line every time I do a review. And I cannot find a fault with this blade. It works as advertised. Yeah, I could go do another test like I did with the 50/50, jam it into cans and just go stuff. I just know that it's going to take it. That steel is awesome, and it's highly corrosion resistant. The coating that they put on there, that anodized coating, just, I mean, all day of use, and it's just holding up, working great. I look forward to just working this blade all summer long. It's going to be a pleasure. I want to thank the folks at FirstEdge for sending me a blade to test out. Folks, if you get a chance and it's in your budget to, I got a ladybug on me, so I'm having good luck. But if you get a chance to test out one of these blades, or you get a chance, if you see it at a gun show, at a knife show, whatever, put one in your hand and you're going to be a believer. They're great. I just can't say enough good stuff about it. Folks, this is John with the Wingman 115 channel. I thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned because I'm going to see you on the next video. Take care, folks.